It's still a little bit hot still. Ugh. Good morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG Weekly Update. We've got a lot of news to talk about today. Kingdom Hearts 3 reminded us that some DLC is on the way. A couple of really great games are actually coming to the Nintendo Switch, a couple of underrated games, in my opinion. And before we get to that, we've got some new games that were announced that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Starting with PathFinder, Wrath of Righteousness. This game was announced just a little bit ago by Owlcat Games. This is a CRPG that's based on Pathfinder. If you're familiar with like tabletop RPGs like D&D, well, Pathfinder is one of those. So this is going to be pretty awesome. And also, writer and designer Chris Avellone. He's pretty famous in the circles of. He's worked with Bethesda and In Exile. He's worked on The Wasteland 2 and Fallout New Vegas. Well, he's going to be writing and designing in the Kingmaker as part of the narrative team, which is pretty awesome. And a few other people. It's kind of a team with a really strong pedigree. So if you're into CRPGs, this is something that you're definitely want to keep your eyes out for. The game is currently confirmed as coming to PC, but console games ports are also in the works. So if you want to play CRPGs on your console, you can definitely do that. Also, Nintendo Switch, I mentioned this a little bit ago, has a couple of interesting games coming to it, to the not the eShop, but to the online service that they provide to people who have Nintendo Switch Online. And there's a couple of really great ones coming, including, for their first is Crystalis, which is it's not Super Nintendo, it's the NES action RPG inspired by Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. This game was super fun, and one of my very first reviews, actually, I think it was number 12 or so. It's been a little while, so forgive me if I got that detail wrong, but this game is definitely worth checking out. Also, Breath of Fire 2. This is also a super fun, this one's a turn-based RPG, but it has some translation issues. If you had your choice of the litter of how I would play this, I would go with the fan retranslation, but if you're really more of just wanting to support the game and show Capcom that, hey, I have, a lot of interest in the Breath of Fire series, this would be a really excellent way to go about that. I have reviewed both of these games, and I can definitely recommend them both. Be sure to check out both of my reviews and find out which one you want to play first if you have Nintendo Switch Online. If you don't already have Nintendo Switch Online, these probably won't be the games to convince you to get it, but it seems like a pretty good deal all in all. Now, for release date and localization updates, we got finally an update on when to expect Kingdom Hearts ReMind. This is that DLC that they announced for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm not sure if it was leaked or if it was just, leaked or revealed or what have you, but regardless, we got to talk about it. It's launching in February 25th of 2019, and it provides some post-game content, and it looks like this is going to feature a lot of Final Fantasy characters. Finally, I mean, why were they not there before? And also, it's going to be offering some new difficulty options. So if you thought that Kingdom Hearts 3 was just a bit too easy, I kind of did. There are other ways that you can fix that. Also, they did also add like the critical mode, which I never got to play, but maybe when the DLC comes out, maybe that'll be something for me to explore. Dark Crystal has a tactical RPG on the way, and it's launching on February 4th, 2019. This game is also coming to PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PC. So if you're looking for a tactical RPG in February, this could be definitely a good way to go. I always loved Jim Henson's movies. I mean, obviously the Ninja Turtles 1989, that was definitely a Jim Henson production, and so was The Labyrinth, and then Dark Crystal is very similar in that regard. So I guess they've recently like revived it for Netflix. I had no idea, but the game is kind of going off of that revival on Netflix. So I'm pretty interested to see how this is going to hold up. Also, speaking of intellectual property tie-ins, Fairy Tale RPG, that we've talked about that a time or two before. It's currently in development. It is launching in March, on March the 19th of 2020. And in fact, let me make sure that I didn't say 2019 earlier. Yeah, I think I've been saying 2019 all, all this whole time. Well, it's all these dates I'm giving you are for next year, 2020. Okay, just after that, I'll fix it in post. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, it's coming out on the 19th in Europe and Japan, March 19th in Europe and Japan, but on the 20th in the United States, which is, honestly, that kind of makes sense because I'm pretty sure that Europe and Japan are like a day ahead of us anyway, so it's kind of all going to be at the same exact time no matter what we're doing. Oh yeah, and one last little bit of news I kind of forgot to mention. I mean, there's a couple of you guys out there who probably care about this, but Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch in spring of 2020. Yeah. And Falcom has also expressed other interest in having other games coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is fantastic. So, yeah, mark that in your calendars, guys. Trails of Cold Steel 3 coming to Nintendo Switch spring of 2020. Also, the Atelier Dusk series is getting a deluxe pack released on the Nintendo Switch in a physical form with dual audio and English subtitles, and it's over on PlayAsia right now for pre-order. This triple pack isn't exactly cheap though. It is $90, but it does contain 3 complete games, and it's the deluxe versions of Atelier Ayesha, Esha and Logi, and Shelly. So if you're interested in those games and the deluxe versions of them, this seems like a pretty good way to go about that at $30 a pop. The deluxe pack will be shipping, they expect, in mid-January, and will be limited to just about 5,000 copies. So make sure you get yours pre-ordered if you want it, because it's not gonna last. And if you could, use the link in the video description, and that would really help support the show. Speaking of which, after several years, I have finally upgraded my computer to a new platform. I was using an AMD FX 8350 for a while, and anyways, it was showing its age. It was getting a little long in the tooth, and now this new computer I just upgraded to a Ryzen 5 3600, and I can only thank you guys for that. This new rig ought to allow me to help edit in 4K footage and maybe capture 4K, and anyways, this is helping propel this channel forward into the future, and it's all thanks to you guys, so thank you so much. Next up, I hope to upgrade my capture card, get a new camera that can do 4K, and even a microphone that doesn't have to be right in front of my face all the time. That would be really stellar. So these are all things that I've planned, and they will be coming up as long as you guys don't mind putting up with my hustle here. So again, thank you all so much. It's going to take a little bit longer before I'm totally satisfied with everything, but hopefully you'll be seeing some of the fruits of the labors that I'm putting into the production quality of this show and my reviews. Speaking of which, I finally finished Shadow Hearts Covenant on Twitch on Wednesday of last week, and we'll be picking up today with Super Mario RPG over on Twitch. This is a game that I hear fantastic things about, but I've never actually played it to completion. So if you're interested in coming and hanging out with us, definitely please do. It's a really amazing group of people there, just hanging out in the chat. It's super friendly. So definitely come hang out with us. And the review of Shadow Hearts Covenant, the game that I just finished, will probably take a while, but I'm hoping it'll be out this month. So in the meantime, I should have another review out soon for Shadows of Adam, and I hope to have that out on Friday of this week, if all goes well. Wish me luck. So that leaves us with this weekly forecast. So we've got a couple of games. There's not really much going on this week for JRPGs coming out, but we do have an action RPG by developer A44 called Ashen, and this is coming to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One today. Also coming out is Path of Exile Conquerors. This is, Conquerors of the Atlas. This is a CRPG by Grinding Gear Games, and it is coming to PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One this week as well. Now, finally, we've got this week's question of the week. And this question of the week is, It's probably gonna start some arguments. I don't know. I've probably asked before what your favorite soundtrack was, but let's get a little bit more specific than that. Of every RPG you've ever played, what was the song, the standout song? This is gonna be a tough one because it's just one song among every RPG. What's your favorite song? And I've thought about this for a while, and the only one that consistently comes to mind, like there are some that always do for sure, like the song "Thoughts Far Away" from Lunar, but even then, oh, L's theme from Terranigma was super awesome too. But the one that I think I've landed on is "Star Stealing Girl," and this is that song by Yasunori Mitsuda. It's from Chrono Cross, and it is just it's such a sweet, sad song, and it's kind of like it's kids' theme song sort of, and it I mean it it's the juxtaposition of this sweet song, this sweet sad song against kids' tough guy demeanor, really kind of serves as a form of character development in and of itself, because it shows you that even though she's got like this tough guy act, she still is, she's seen some stuff, man. She's had a bad history, and she's kind of melancholy. And anyways, I love this song, and I hope that you guys can share your favorite songs and why. Why do you like these songs? What made that your favorite? And let me know if you had any runners up. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. I will see you guys later on this week with my review of Shadows of Adam. If you want to see that, make sure you get subscribed. I am SuperDerek, and this has all been news to me. Have a good day, everyone.